Hey you, so on this video is 10 ounces of gold enough plus how long? It's going to be the gold counterpart to the silver video that I done. So before we jump into this, I'd love to say if you like what you see / hear and haven't done so already, please do go ahead and subscribe, and also please do let me know your thoughts and opinions in the video, anything that you can add to this video or anything you feel I missed on. As with even in the silver video, there's going to be many parts that I can't touch upon, i.e., do people come from different social standards, or just, whether the person has a family, whether the person's a millionaire. I'm going to give you rough round numbers and try quickly touch upon the type of individual people that I can be referring to. So, and also I want to send a big shout out to all the people that have been reaching out to me via Instagram and even YouTube down in the comments. Just since the beginning of the year, I mentioned I was releasing less and less content because I had a hectic schedule. I had a lot going on, big projects since the beginning of the year, and also the newborn had me tied up. But that came to an end of August. So since September, I've been putting out a lot more content. I was aware that I didn't have a lot of content out, and many people was asking me for more content. I do release videos, but in comparison to many other channels, I don't actually have a lot of videos out. So since August, end of August, I've been upping or trying to stick to a schedule of 5 videos a week. It's gone so far so good. I was able to fulfill that in the whole of September. We're in early October now, and I did miss a day yesterday, so shout out to those that reached out to me, and just big love. A lot of definitely appreciate it for everybody that's reaching out to me with positive words and encouragement. I'm trying to keep up with your guys' demand for the videos. So, once again, the best place to catch me, leave a comment in the comment section down below. I do read them, and even on Instagram, if you private message me, I do try to get at end of the day minimum. So either or, just let me know what's going on and whatever you want to say to me, and we'll take it from there. But big love and much respect for everybody that's reached out to me. So as we get into this one, it's going to be, is 10 ounces of gold enough? Plus, how long should it take to stack that much? So I've got a load of gold pieces in the background. Please do just assume these are standard bullion coins, even though I know they've not turned out that way. They was purchased with that intention, and not too far off that. So I don't believe these are like equivalent to 20 ounces or something. So this is going to be my answer to the question, is 10 ounces of gold enough? I would say, well, is 10 ounces of gold the ultimate goal? That was the question in silver. So it's 10 ounces of gold the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal for how long? For what type of individual? We've got a bit of sunset in the background, so I might see hazy if anything. Shout out to the focus gang. But to answer that question, I'm going to say no. 10 ounces of gold is not the ultimate goal / enough. Why? Because I think when it comes to gold, it's viewed different and it needs to be looked at differently. I look at it, and this is own personal thoughts and opinions here, guys. That's why I'd love to hear yours down below in the comment. The same coin I'm going to be showing over and going over, so you may just see different quality. Shout out to that person that asked if I was aware last time. But yeah, I believe gold should be taken a bit more seriously, or a lot more seriously than silver, and stacked a lot more aggressively. Why? Because, as I've mentioned before, it's the ultimate form of currency. It's the ultimate, save and hedge, hedge against inflation and / save and pot. With your gold, you can pick it up and go anywhere on the planet and get it converted to whichever currency, whichever coconuts or peanuts or paper they're using at the time, and get that converted. The same can't be said for silver. You're not going to have no hassles turning this shiny moon sun into currency, whichever form that may be, or even using it as direct currency, getting loans backed on it and the likes of. I know the same can be said for silver, but once again, nowhere near the numbers and volume that it could be done for gold. So I think gold should be taken a lot more seriously and seen as the ultimate pot to be achieved. And not to forget, you have many silver bugs out there, and as much as they want silver to be number one or ahead of gold and understand it's going to be and the opportunities it presents, they're not going to tell, or some would, but at least they know gold is number one, and silver ain't going to be surpassing it, in my opinion, anytime soon. So at least we can all agree on that. Gold is number one. I think it should be seen and stacked a lot more seriously than silver, for instance, as to why I don't believe 10 ounces is the ultimate goal or the ultimate number that somebody should be holding. What do I believe it is, and what kind of time frame are we looking at? Well, technically 10 ounces was equivalent to the 1,000 ounces of silver price-wise, so we're going to gauge it at around, I don't know, an ounce, just say $1,000, £1,000 for the sake of the video, rough guesstimates. Once again, people, I'm going to say you want 20 ounces minimum. Yep, 20 ounces of gold as a bare minimum for your average Joe. I had a lot of heavy hitters getting at me last time. Like, hey, Shadow, I blink and, I've got 1,000 ounces of silver. You're not being realistic. But I want everybody that can make these kind of numbers happen without too much hassle to understand. There are many people from many walks of life, and I know many people from many walks of life. Think of all the single parents, be it mothers or fathers, that have many responsibilities. I'd love to say through no fault of their own, but people get themselves into a situation where they have debt. They have responsibilities, especially you have dependents, children, parents you're looking after, and you have many things that you just have to pay for in life and need a hand for in paying for in life. People are left stuck in the mud sometimes through no fault of their own, for whichever reasons, divorce or whatever. So a lot of people don't have the spare funds a bachelor or bachelorette may have and just be that, carefree. A lot of people don't have that handouts. A lot of people weren't, taking life too seriously in the beginning, where they focused on education, where they was able to get themselves into that fantastic job. So, and that's going to be the majority, guys, for all the heavy hitters. I will be portioning out a section for the heavy hitters and giving some numbers, but for the average Joe out there, I'm going to say 10 years. And so working on that 10-year time frame, you're going to be looking at 2 ounces of gold a year. And I'm going to specifically leave it as an ounce, a whole ounce. One thing I will say is, if you're going to focus on the other sizes, fractional, whatever, depending on how you want to do it, by all means, you can do it your own way. But in this video, I'm going to advocate and push, you want whole ounces. Why? Because I think if you can lay down that foundation, that bed of whole solid ounces first, and then from there focus on whatever you want. If it's fractionals you want, if it's 1/10, if it's quarter ounces, remember you're going for 2 ounces a year. So for 6 months, you're going to be stacking $200, £200, or somewhere around the region. Sacrifice is going to be needed. Once I throw out a few things you can sacrifice, it can be food, less restaurants, more home cooking. If you don't know how to do that, if you're on YouTube, you can teach yourself to be Gordon Ramsay tomorrow off of YouTube. Fashion, if you're a label guy, hey, you're gonna have to sacrifice some labels. And then subscriptions, if you're somebody that's into all these sports, try a sports bar, or just catching up with them afterwards on YouTube. Just keep your fingers in your ears for the meantime. These are just a few areas that you can make sacrifices, but you want to be putting away. It is 100% possible. That's one thing it is not. And this is if you're working. If you're not working and the likes of, then this isn't for you. But if you're on the minimum, or you're on semi-decent, or you're on average yearly wage or monthly wage, you want to be squirreling away $200, £200, and you want to be aiming to pick up 1 ounce of gold every 6 months, a whole 1 ounce. You're going for 2 a year. I think this is very achievable for the average on a very tight wage. Now, I know people of all walks, as mentioned, extremely rich, extremely poor, and I think it's possible for all. And this is why I've hit that number. Yes, is it hard when you're setting yourself goals? Is how easy it to stick to them. And this is why I would say, anything that's close to 100 is good, is great. If you're going to have a number, I'm saying the minimum when you're looking at gold is going to be 20. If you need a goal set for you, if you can see one that's global, or one that I'm following, for instance, then by all means march towards that. But when we're talking about the shiny moon/sun, then you got to set your goals big. You're most definitely looking at 2 ounces a year. Is it achievable? Yes, we can. So I think that's a perfect number when we're talking gold, because we all are at different stages. Not to forget, if a millionaire was to jump in right now and spend 10% of their wealth, they're straight in at 100 ounces, and that's just going by the numbers that I put out there. I think, it shouldn't hold nobody back. It's not too much of a hedge. It's not too much of a high wall to get over. If you're a heavy hitter on the other end, and you believed, hey, you blink and you required so many ounces, I would say a bare minimum for a heavy hitter on the flip side would be 5 ounces a year. So you're going to be aiming for, in the same time frame of 10 years, you're going to be aiming for 50 ounces. So this is a 5 ounce piece we have here. So, I think that's something there for everybody. These are numbers that are out there, whereas, whether it's a savings pot, whether it's a pension, come the time at the end, some people may be retiring in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, people. This is what I'm saying. Everybody's at different stages of their life. Some people may be retiring in 55 years. But if you're able to, if you're on a decent wage to stack 5 ounces of gold a year to accumulate, and then looking at a time frame of 10 years, this is just a piece I've got to total up the 20 ounces on the table here, you're in a fantastic position. You know, if you're a heavy hitter, the numbers you think are too low, i.e., hey, you can achieve a lot more and a lot less. And I understand this. I've never been of the mindset, well, hey, you know, because I've got deep pockets, I can make it happen. I've always understood and known that there's many that can't. Then I think that's a realistic number to put out there universally. There's always numbers put out there. And, you know, if you're going to go hard, you know, you might as well go big. So, you know, go big or go home. And I think 20 ounces for an ultimate goal in gold, depending on what your outlook is, depending on where you see spot price at the end of the race or at the end of the line or at the end of the tunnel, if we're to take it and assume it would be 3 times it is now, bare minimum, I think if you're holding 20 ounces, if you've got a family, it will cover you. You know, if you've got a job, if you lose your job, if you have things you need to buy, if we have another recession, if we have another housing crash, I think it could easily put you in a comfortable position with a minimum of 20, aiming for as close to 100 as you can get. Is 100 enough? For me, with my gold, as I mentioned before, I never really had a set goal on silver. I want to look at that the same mindset as gold. I want to be stacking this sun, you know, the sun metal for as long as I'm alive. You know, at some point it'll be a minimum, an ounce every other month, an ounce every 3 months, 4 months, wherever it is, wherever I am, I want to 100% be stacking gold with no set amount at end, you know, so no set gold, and just keep going and going and going, because I know I can always tap into it should I need to liquidate or should I need to free up some funds. But you know, this is just going to be the numbers that I'm putting out there. I would love to hear your numbers. In the end of the day, I view gold as an ultimate lifeboat, you know, a life jacket, should I say. And it's one of those metals that can literally save you. It's viewed universally as the ultimate. And as I said, silver, not knocking it, it can get another 1,000 uses tomorrow. I don't personally think that's going to make the price shoot through the roof. I think that would just cement it more as an industrial metal. You know, if another 1,000 uses came up for it in the medical field tomorrow, it would just be more glowing reviews for it and how much or how well it does in that sector. If it came up in terms of energy saving tomorrow, it would be fantastic it does in that sector. I don't think now, because it's got so many more uses, if it was ever going to be of true worth with all of its uses, it would be right now. You know, when the suppression ends, will we see its true worth? Who knows? But I don't think it having more uses, more and more uses, is going to correlate with the price. I don't think that's going to be it. If the manipulation ends, who knows? You know, no one knows. Shadow most definitely doesn't know. But I'm going to wrap this one up, guys, but would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on how many ounces of gold you think is the ultimate. Or do you agree with my numbers or disagree? Please do let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments, guys. So if you haven't done so already, please do go ahead and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys on the rebound.